Welcome to Electric Boogaloo Part 2, a podcast dedicated to the glory that is the movie sequel. On this show, you'll join myself, Taj Hodges, along with co-host Stephen Romo, in a monthly discussion with a guest who feels particularly passionate about yet another Part 2 film. We hope to bring to light the beauty, the horror, the desperate money grabs, and the welcome second acts that make up the sequels we hate to love and love to hate. Stephen and myself make no claims to be experts in film, nor do we claim the rights to any of the films we review. We just feel passionately about dumb stuff and we're bored. If you're bored too and have ever played Electric Boogaloo, this might just be the podcast for you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. What? Why are you already laughing at me?
Because you just did what you promised you weren't going to do.
What?
This is how I naturally. This is how I'm going to talk in the mic.
Okay, I see
and
what
then
you're
as soon as it starts, I'll be like, "Hi, everybody!"
All right.
God, man. No, it's fine. It's fine.
But you baselined it off of my laugh.
I did. I did. But now when you laugh, that's going to be like your presentation laugh.
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. All right. I will try to be more of a real person as opposed to a talk show host.
Take two. Rolling.
Heaven forbid. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I just don't feel excited when I do it that way.
God damn it.
No, we're going to
feel excited.
Okay. Hey, folks. Welcome to another.
I like all of these.
Yeah.
These are fine.
They're all great. They're all great. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Electric Boogaloo Part 2, the show that centers around the concept that movie sequels are amazing. I don't like any of this.
Okay,
let's just hit stop. Let's actually hit stop, delete.
This is great.
I like it.
No.
I would listen to the fuck out of this if this is the way a podcast started.
Is this really the beginning of this podcast? All right, hey everybody, welcome to Electric Boogaloo. We're here to talk about sequels. We know you love them, and you don't really feel like you have a platform to discuss them, so that's why we're here. So yeah, this is our show where we do that for you, the consumer.
That was
podcast.
That was the saltiest intro.
Hey everybody, shut up and listen to our show.
You like sequels. You don't have a place to talk about them. So we're here now.
We have the best sequels. With me, as always, is my co-host, Stephen Romo.
Hello. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you for always being here.
Yeah.
Even when you're afraid that we might break your brain again. Because last we talked about this episode, you were still hesitant about the movies. By the way, we watched Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 today. What was going through your mind? I saw you on Friday, and you seemed a little nervous.
I just remember watching it when I was younger and being kind of afraid of it, but also thinking it was really stupid. And I hadn't watched it since.
Very stupid.
But after watching it now, it was stupid, but not scary, and it was just fun. It was just a funny 2 movies to watch.
That's actually something Sam Raimi says in an interview, is that he just wants to take the viewer on like a hour-and-a-half roller coaster ride and have it be done, and they don't have to take it home with them. It's just like, it was kind of crazy, funny, scary in the moment, but later on you don't really have to think about it. Well, this is one of the movies I wanted to do when this concept really first came out. I would say that this was one of the seeds, and I would say pretty much from the beginning of this podcast, today's guest and I have kind of discussed the possibility of this particular episode. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, local Reese's connoisseur and champion of the people, Heather Moreno.
Hey.
Champion of the people.
Did someone just boo right now?
Yes, it was a high pitched boo.
There was only 4 of us in here. We were all clapping.
Yeah.
Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Join us.
Join us.
Yes.
I like champion of of the people.
Champion of the people. I don't really know how else to describe you. At this venture in your life,
Human troll doll.
what would you say that you're mostly occupying your time with in 2017?
Being a living dumpster.
There you go.
Yeah.
Garbage person on Garbage Island.
No.
That's. I mean, that's. Admittedly, you have made that claim yourself.
New year, new me.
Yeah, right.
Self-proclaimed garbage person on Garbage Island.
Self-proclaimed.
Heather.
Call me Heather.
Heather, period.
Yeah.
Heather. Period. No, that's good. Well, thank you for joining us today. Would you say we've been talking about this episode for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You owe me.
I owe you. Jesus. I didn't realize that this was like back pay. But
I mean, we got pizza. I think that kind of settled the score, right?
It truly did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pizza and bean dip and salsa and chips.
Bean
yeah,
dip.
our producer, who is always ever vigilant, ever present, Justin Miller.
Hi, I made bean dip
He made bean dip.
and salsa.
We were on our way here, and we get a message: bring chips.
Yeah,
There's
I was
dips.
afraid that there wasn't going to be enough chips. I thought there's never enough chips. There's never enough chips when I just make salsa, and now there's way too many.
Yeah,
chips.
as it turns out, there are 2 unopened bags of chips at this point.
That's fine.
They're gonna.
I mean, you can. I'll let you guys fight, and who takes one of them.
Yes.
One of them, they're staying
Well,
here.
I'm actually pleased to announce that that Electric Boogaloo Part 2 is now we have an official sponsor, and it's Santita's $2 only
$2 only.
tortilla crisps. So thank you, Santitas.
Thank you. Yeah.
$2 only. That's right.
Pretty soon, we're gonna start selling the podcasts on iTunes for $2 only.
We can get underwriters.
If you just donate $2 to this podcast,
only.
you will pay for 1 bag of delicious tortilla chips that we need.
It's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
Turn your money into chips with Electric Boogaloo Part 2.
The arms of an angel. No, okay. Well, yeah, none of that's true. Just so you guys know,
Or is it?
that are listening, or is it? Good question. So, one thing that I always like to talk about during this show is your history with the film. You are wearing an Army of Darkness T-shirt.
You're that person that wears the band shirt to the band's performance.
We had been promised that you were coming in full cosplay.
No. I couldn't even find the foam chainsaw that they gave us at the Ash vs. Evil Dead premiere. You just wear it literally over your hand.
Which
like
is incredible.
How big was it?
It's huge. It's like 2 feet.
Is that the one
shit.
that's in the picture?
Yeah, that's no. That's part
like
of
a
the
prop,
That was
right?
like
That
part
was
of the
part of
red
the photo shoot.
carpet.
Okay.
Like you could just put your hand up there and hope for the best.
The picture I'm talking about, of course, is the one that was posted on the Electric Boogaloo Part 2 Facebook page. You should like us, and then you'll still never get any of our posts because they charge you to send posts to people. I don't get that. Anyhow, no,
Well,
I would
now with
say,
our sponsorship, we can afford that.
right, we can get the $5 only to pay for the pay for the promotion. So now, okay, back to you. I'm sorry, Heather, to get off topic.
Well, I'm just thinking about the chainsaw again.
You've been a diehard fan of these films for quite some time. You have, if this is okay with me to share, you have Bruce Campbell on your arm. So how far back does this go? When does this start?
Oh, I remember I watched Evil Dead 2 with my mom in our living room in Yuma, Arizona.
America's armpit. Yuma, Arizona.
I like Yuma.
Yuma's tight.
Thanks.
I have weird
Thank you.
associations with
Shout out
Yuma.
to Lettuce, Mr. G's, and the Colorado River.
And Mexico. Literally, like one of the highlights of Yuma is you want to go to Mexico.
And there's a fantastic casino in Albondigas.
Yeah, actually, there's some pretty cool bars and some decent people to drink with. So Yuma's pretty rad.
Is it
Anyways,
is it Albondigas?
Wait, what?
There's like a casino outside of Yuma.
No, that's not what it's
isn't
called.
albondigas like slang?
No, I think it's a meatball soup.
Right? There we go.
exactly.
It's a soup, but no, there's no casino named after the soup.
What are you talking about?
Algodones. You're thinking, but that's
Oh,
that's
Algodón is the
that's
city.
A town.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
outside, yeah.
It's a city
And
in
also a
Mexico.
delicious Mexican meatball soup.
No.
No, it's cotton, dude. It's cotton.
Okay.
All right. So
Well,
what-
tomato.
Send us your
listeners, look it
best
up.
Just
recipes for
agree to disagree.
albondigas. Hopefully this sparks some conversation on the YouTube page. Hopefully you guys are sharing
Let's just talk about Yuma.
recipes.
I love Yuma.
God, Yuma, it's something else. So yeah, at that point with mom watching Evil Dead 2, what is that, like 10, 11, younger?
No, I was like 15 years old.
Okay, 15. So you were old enough to appreciate the crudeness and the humor. And
I had no idea what I was watching. I just knew that it blew my mind. Phil Hanna's older brother, George.
Cool.
Yeah, he's the one who let me. He's like, I think you'd really like this. And I was like, okay. And then I just took it home. And then again, just like, it was like the Magnavox commercial, just in my chair.
Yeah. So right off the bat, diehard fan.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
And then Army of Darkness had already been released at that point. Let's see, you were 15.
Yeah. No, I'm not. That was in 91.
That was in 91. Well, okay, but I remember seeing advertisements for, I didn't see it in the theater, but I remember seeing Army of Darkness being advertised. And I guess I was probably younger than 15 and I'm probably older than you, but still... I feel like I could have known people that went to see it at the theater. Would you?
I saw. So I'm the
Did
old.
you see it in the
I'm the
theater?
old man here. Yeah, I saw Army of Darkness in the theater.
Okay.
Because I'd loved Evil Dead 2. So
There you go.
immediately, and then I didn't like Evil Dead 1 because maybe I saw Evil Dead 2 first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that might be with a lot of people. That's the problem. And one of the
Do you want me to close that window?
No,
I wish you guys could
Right
see
in your
this.
face.
Justin Miller has just direct sunlight in his face.
it's
You're
I'm
just
dealing
squinting
with
so
it.
It's an
bad.
homage to that
Yes.
scene where Bruce is in the half light and he's freaking out.
Yeah. Anyways,
I can't stop looking at you.
I know. There's this weird time of day where the sunlight it goes right into that window above the door. You guys can't see the layout of this
Here in the
old
barrio, we make the best of our
Adobe.
situation.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna lean over here, right here,
Lean
and
back.
I'm actually gonna
lean back.
direct sunlight to.
Oh gosh, he's
hopefully
gonna
Taj's-
reflect. He's gonna
Yeah, I can see that too.
his work pad. He's blinding me with light.
Give me some of that.
Oh, and there's a knock at the door.
What?
Come in.
Is it really?
Oh, it's locked. And apparently we're being joined by Bethany Evans, the other
I'm pretty
inhabitant
sure she has the keys.
of this household.
Hey,
Hello,
everyone, it's Bethany Evans.
Welcome to
Hi.
Electric Boogaloo Part 2.
Oh boy, there's all sorts of stuff going in this podcast. There was 5
We
false
had
starts.
5 false starts. We had some albondigas discussion.
Yeah.
And now
Yuma.
Bethany Evans. How was...
Definitely read the Necronomicon.
Wise
So,
words.
Yes, wise words indeed. Okay, so you saw Army of Darkness probably pretty shortly afterwards, or okay, at that point, was it Evil Dead 2 that you saw with your mom at 15?
Yeah.
Okay, when did you actually get back around to seeing Evil Dead?
I saw Evil Dead like the next night.
Okay.
Yeah, I just was like, I gotta borrow this.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I
Good.
just basically just took over.
Okay,
The entire
and-
VHS collection.
One thing that I was saying we needed to dispel in this podcast today is the notion that Evil Dead 2 is the same movie as Evil Dead.
No. Not at all.
There is actually a lead in to Evil Dead 2, and if you watch it, it does make logical sense, and it does set off a whole different storyline. I don't know. That's something that I felt it important to portray, because a lot of people just say, oh, Evil Dead 2 is just Evil Dead with a bigger budget, which technically it is. But, you know, it's the continuation of that story.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's meant to be just the next day.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah. I really don't understand. God damn that light. I really don't understand why they felt the need to recap. So when Evil Dead 2 starts out, it's the first 5 minutes of it are a weird recap.
Yeah, it's
of
a
the
different
first
recap
film.
because,
Yeah.
it's just him and his girlfriend, and it's still Linda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Linda.
It's a different Linda. But it's still a Linda. It's a Linda played by who?
Denise Bixler.
Denise Bixler. See, I have notes. Heather doesn't have notes, and she knew that before.
Yeah.
I'm a sad.
Well, let me give a rundown of the first one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah. In order,
we talked about
yeah.
origin stories.
Well, actually, can you do a rundown of the second movie's version of the first movie? So the 5-minute synopsis
I
of
can
that.
do
Just
that.
do a rundown of that in one sentence.
Okay. So how about a 15-second rundown of the first 5 minutes?
Okay, that's good.
All right. So Ash and Linda are going to this house that Linda's like a vacation house, and there's a book, and there's this recording from this guy that found this like crazy cursed like sword and a book and all this shit, and the recording starts just belting out this curse, and then all hell breaks loose, and Ash has to kill his girlfriend Linda because she becomes like, you know, a entity of demons.
Entity of demons.
Yeah.
So that's my 15-second synopsis of the first part of the movie.
You know what? Pretty good. Pretty good.
Enough? You don't think we should talk any more about Evil Dead?
No, we should talk a lot about Evil Dead and the differences between the two.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the synopsis of the first 5 minutes of Evil Dead 2. Now, can you give us a rundown of Evil Dead?
Yeah. So I kind of lost what happened in the first one because of the first 5 minutes of the second one, because I actually liked the first 5 minutes of the second one a little bit better than the first.
A really good
hour
job
and a half of the entire movie. But the first movie, it's a bunch of friends. They're going to this house. Some girl's parents own it.
No.
Is that just the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just going to this house on vacation. They're all having fun. Some weird stuff happens, and they go into a basement, and they find like a shotgun, and they're like fucking around with it. And Ash and his buddy, I forget his name, Scott. They find this like reel-to-reel recorder, and they start playing it. And it's this doctor that went like. He's like an archaeologist, I guess, and he found these pages that had like this like old hieroglyph on it with like these like crazy pictures of like a demon's face and like SpongeBob SquarePants, and actually that really happens in the first one. This woman gets possessed and starts drawing SpongeBob SquarePants. So they start playing this recording. And they find the book, and they find this sword. But as the doctor's going on, he's like, "I'm going to phonetically tell you guys what these words are saying." So he starts saying it, and it like pretty much activates all these like crazy demons that the book holds. So one by one, everyone in the house starts getting possessed by this like evil force, and then like the force becomes alive, and there's a really, really really uncomfortable graphic rape scene where a tree or trees rape one of the people, and it's really fucking terrible. It's bad. So that happens. Like she runs back. They're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. But they end up like locking one friend somewhere, and they off someone else, and everyone just starts dying.
That's fair.
That's a fair
assessment.
It's pretty good.
And the difference between Ash in the first movie and Ash in the first 15 minutes of the second movie and the rest of the movie is that Ash was just like a normal dude and like didn't want to be he didn't want any of that shit to happen. No. And he was forced to like start hacking his friends' heads off.
Does anybody want that shit to be happening?
No one wants it. Yeah. But Ash is more of like
Heather says she wants that shit to be happening.
That's why
she raised her hand.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she
For those of you that are just listening.
But Ash pretty much figures things out, like you had said, a lot quicker in the second movie.
Yeah.
And he's more like, fuck this. I'm not having any part of this. I'm willing to do whatever I can to take care of myself.
Yeah.
So he kind of became more of like let's fucking do this shit. Instead of just being like really freaking out the entire movie, and then like the last like 10 minutes of the movie, he's like, "Fuck it, I'm hacking everyone."
No, it's true, and it's a cumulative effect. Like if you've seen all three movies, Ash becomes more of a badass throughout, and it's not even he always had the swagger to a certain extent in all the movies. He kind of has a little bit of that like charm factor in the.
He was a gorgeous man.
He's a very attractive man.
I never never really like focused on him in those movies because I was just like, this is stupid. But he is pretty goddamn looking good, you know. Good dude.
And a lot of the movie is us watching his reaction to what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's really what makes it as enjoyable as it is. Bruce Campbell, I mean, you think about his career, he's basically worked with Sam Raimi. I mean, beyond that, what else would you say Bruce Campbell's really? I mean, like Bubba Hotep. but like Sky High. What else
Work is work.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that it's bad work, but I'm saying that like Bruce Campbell, and I think I even said this while we were watching the movie, like Bruce Campbell's not really acting. He's just being Bruce Campbell in whatever situation that the director is putting him in.
Around like Evil Dead time though, like he got Briscoe County Jr. Oddly still like a cult following for that. Actually, it's pretty good.
Oh shit, that was him.
Yeah, that was him.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Get that.
Did you ever watch the show Jack of All Trades?
No, I never watched that.
I think I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes. I don't remember, but he's like
he was recently in the USA Network spy thriller Burn Notice. I don't know if
Burn Notice. That's a decent.
What the fuck is a USA Network?
Your new sponsor.
Yeah,
Be respectful. Be respectful.
Yeah, Electric Boogaloo will be featured on USA's Up All Night. Gilbert Godfrey.
And we'll still only have 12 listeners or viewers.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Well, Evil Dead. Yeah. I mean, my mom is still listening, so that's someone. Hi, Mom. Okay, so Evil Dead 2 was released to see.
Dang it!
Yeah,
that was the sound of.
Sorry, that was the sound of a phone being dropped on a microphone stand.
It wouldn't need to be that big of a deal, but March 13th, 1987 is what I have down. You were saying, I think you reached out to me during March and said, March 17th is the anniversary.
No, it's March 13th.
It's March
2
13th
days before the Ides of March. Yeah.
There you go. So 1987 is when Evil Dead 2 hit the theaters. Just to kind of put it into perspective of what the social climate in America was that year, the top 5 movies going from 5 to 1 were number 5, Moonstruck. With Cher.
Great movie.
And Nick Cage. It is a great movie. Also a very young Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
Little baby Ricci. Number 4 was Good Morning Vietnam.
Another great film.
Robin Williams.
Classic Robin Williams.
Number 3, Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Meh.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Wasn't that good?
I mean.
Well, let's find somebody. If you're listening to this and you feel that Beverly Hills Cop 2 is a better film than Beverly Hills Cop 1,
then call in right now, and we'll talk all about it.
And we'll let the ninth caller
wins.
Get some pizza or some $2 chips.
I don't know. I really liked Beverly Hills Cop 2, but I also saw it way too young. I actually watched it last night because it was one of the top movies that year, and it was just on cable.
What was the top movie that year?
Number 2 was Fatal Attraction, which was a thriller.
Oh yeah.
And then the number 1 movie in the country was Three Men and a Baby.
Garbage bullshit.
But there's actually really like real ghosts in that movie.
It was a prank, dude.
It's a cutout.
Read about it.
It's a cardboard cutout.
Cardboard cutout.
But was it?
But was it? and I remember hearing about that. I remember hearing about that particular thing, and I was like, well, I taped that movie. Because remember when you used to tape movies? Yeah. And so I was like, I taped that movie so I can like freeze the frame. And holy shit, before you found out that it was a hoax from the crew, for the longest time, for like years, I was like, dude, there's a fucking ghost in that movie. That's the creepiest shit ever.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about and are listening to this on YouTube,
so
go up to your search menu and type 3 Men and a Baby Ghost ? And you'll see exactly what we're talking about.
It's fucked up.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, not really, because it's just a cardboard cutout.
I know, but how long did it take you to find out that it was a cardboard cutout?
I don't think I knew about this theory until there was already the internet.
The internet.
So
you see, I found out when I found out when the movie was a thing, and it came out on cable, and I taped it and heard that. I mean, I believe that there was a ghost in that movie for like a decade. And as much as I believe that Richard Gere had a gerbil up his butt, like that was another rumor that was going around in the 80s, and I believed that.
Yeah, it was
like that was solid shit. And then the internet comes, and it's like, thank you for taking the ghost out of that movie, and that gerbil out of Richard Gere's
I
butt.
feel like it was easier to really hold on to those urban myths back then, because if that many people had heard that, how could it not be true? You know, with the internet, it's like everyone in the world can read something simultaneously, but before that was really
it's still
a
like
factor.
that. But
it's like, how could all these people? Yeah, it's alt news. It was an alt hamster up
Fake
his
news.
up
Fake
his,
news.
Yes, fake hamster.
Fake hamster.
Fake ghost China.
Thoughts, Heather?
On fake hamsters
Yes.
and ghosts?
Yeah.
Dope. I don't know. What are we talking about?
Fake ghouls.
I don't know actually
Fake
how
goblins?
we got here exactly,
Well,
but
we're talking about the movies of 87.
yeah. Well, 87 was a
been a little
great year. RoboCop came out that year.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Spaceballs came out that year.
Fuck yeah.
The Lost Boys came out that year. Inner Space.
Dude, that movie freaked me out.
Which one?
Inner Space.
Yeah, it's a little.
What's Inner Space?
Inner
I don't remember
Space?
that.
Oh, hey,
It's with, Martin
It's
Short.
Gizmo's monthly appearance in the podcast.
Hi, Gizmo.
Gizmo found a tape measure.
Gizmo.
Superman 4: The
go
Quest for
build something.
Peace.
That was garbage.
Yeah, it really was garbage, but it was still Superman. Less than zero.
That uplifting film.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it
It was-
was. Teen Wolf 2.
Garbage.
Which, again, if you're listening and think that Teen Wolf 2 is better than the original Teen Wolf,
When
Give
he
us a
said,
call,
when
and
he
we'll
said,
talk to you live.
Yeah, when Taj said Teen Wolf 2 and then I said garbage and you had the reaction like, oh, hell no. You need to be on this show. Yeah.
yeah, right?
I didn't even know there was a Teen Wolf 2.
Feel triggered? You feeling triggered, fam? Project X came out that year. I mean, it's just Raising Arizona actually came out the same weekend as Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. I don't know why I felt the need to accentuate
Raising
that.
Arizona, well, there is a Coen Brothers.
There is a Coen brother
tie-in.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the Coens was one of the editors.
Assistant editor.
Yeah,
to
for the
Evil
first
Dead.
movie.
Yeah.
Joel and
So
Ethan
there you
Coen.
go.
Yes.
Both worked with Sam Raimi. Yeah.
Yes, on their shorts for promotion. You want to tell us more about that?
No, not at all. I was going to say another useless fact. Just shoving out real useful ones right there. Well, actually, the Coen brothers did work with Sam Raimi on this film this year.
Yeah, but that ups your nerd cred. That's when you can talk to like, true film nerds, like guys who've only worked in movie theaters.
Right.
They went from like the dishing out popcorn to actually like spooling the film on the reel. That would be awesome.
And at a certain point, you have to realize that you're in a room full of dudes and you just watched 2 movies and we're talking about sequels. So if there's ever a time to flex these muscles, now is the time.
That's true.
Let your freak flag fly and just completely,
Again,
all of those useless facts. That's what people are actually interested to hear about. Because I definitely learned a lot. Like anytime we prep for one of these shows, I always read all the trivia that I can find and all the like behind the scenes factoids and crap like that. I'm serious. I mean, it's interesting stuff. So anytime if you feel it necessary to share one of those little facts, please do. But yeah, so that was kind of where America was at. We were at a 3 Men and a Baby kind of place in our country when Evil Dead came out.
I like that film, but I haven't watched it in a really long time.
I mean, it's fun. It's fine. I love a good rom-com as much as the next man.
Yes.
But it's
it wasn't
definitely
a
different.
rom-com at all.
No, you don't think so?
It was literally about
3 men and a baby.
3 men and a
Correct.
baby.
There was a love story.
There was
Between the baby.
between the baby and like
No, it was Magnum PI and the mother of the
Tom
baby.
Selleck, yeah.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Was Gutenberg in that?
He was. Gutenberg was in
Was
there.
one of the
It was the
dads?
Goot was out. Yeah, it was the Goot and Tony Danza. Yeah, those three
Tony
gentlemen.
Danza was it? God.
No, not Tony Danza. I'm sorry, Ted Danson.
Ted Danson. There you
Basically,
go.
it's basically the same guy. Angela.
No, I was just talking about this. I do that with Bob Hoskins and Anthony Hopkins all the
Oh, yeah.
time. It's real messed up. Ooh.
That's not.
Yeah.
not a similar thing.
And then from Roger Rabbit, he went on to be Hannibal Lecter. That's not. No.
No.
Bizarre turn of events.
Anyways, boy, we have gone so far off the Raimi verse. There is a Raimi verse, though, right? I
Yeah.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, if you think about his career, Actually, I don't know. There must be, because you get a movie like Cabin in the Woods, which obviously is paying heavy homage.
I would say that that's somewhere in the Raimi verse.
Right.
That's on the outer fringes. That ties in the Whedon verse with the Raimi verse. There's so many verses.
So you're saying that like Sam Raimi lit the fuse?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And I mean, Joss Whedon is obviously a fan. I mean, they go down in the basement and they find a book that is of half or undead hillbillies. Yeah.
There's YouTube videos that are like, look at all of these different things that are definitely tie-ins.
They're definitely tie-ins.
But in terms of his own career, he goes from doing Evil Dead to Crime Wave, which was a flop.
Mm-hmm.
It was all right.
Yeah, it's all right. But so then he realizes, well, what I got to do is Evil Dead 2, and he puts that out. And he does Army of Darkness, and then what, like Darkman?
Yeah, Darkman. I
remember that pretty fun movie.
Comic. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah, he did Darkman.
He went on to do like The Quick and the Dead. Mm-hmm. He did A Simple Plan.
Yeah.
Great band.
Yes.
And the Spider-Man movies.
And the
and the
Spider-Man movies, which I mean, okay, for me as a hardcore comic book nerd, up until that point, no one had really done a comic book movie well. And I feel like he really led he led everyone into this whole new way of looking at how a comic book movie could be done, and also including that he had to do the origin story. He did the first three with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Which now
Maguire
when
ones.
people look back in retrospect, they're like, oh, Tobey Maguire was so cheesy. But no, man, like those were solid comics. They encapsulated.
The first two were genuinely great.
Again.
The third was, actually the first half of the third movie was pretty awesome.
Yes.
And then it
went off the rails.
And then Raimi just stopped caring.
Yeah,
He's like,
he fully admits in interviews that he did not care. Like he was just on Nerdist.
Yeah.
And he was like,
then,
at a certain point, just stopped caring. But I mean, and if I don't care about the characters, then how is the audience?
But still, though, like when the first Spider-Man came out, like
2002.
Yeah,
Dang,
it was badass, and for this director to go from Evil Dead, which the budget had to have been
20 years later, like
what? $30,000 maybe.
The original Evil Dead, they started with 90, but it's estimated that they spent about 350.
Yeah.
Okay, going from 350 to Spider-Man, which is probably like a $50 million budget.
It was probably.
Like,
I mean, it was ridiculous.
That's pretty badass.
But also,
$350 to three. No, I'm joking.
That movie broke box office, like opening weekend box office sales, and nobody caught up for a year. I can't remember who the next one was that caught up.
And it's weird because like after he stopped caring about Spider-Man, he goes back.
Yeah,
so he goes.
You drag me to hell.
Yeah, he goes OG on everybody.
I love Drag Me to Hell.
And it's just like it's like he's like, I'm tired of doing these stupid comic book movies. I just want to have some shit talking demons. I need some more shit talking demons in my movies. It worked. That's awesome.
I didn't know that he had done Drag Me to Hell, and then good friends Steph and Hannah were like, oh, we watch this movie all the time, and we threw it on. And I was like, is this Sam Raimi? They're like, yeah, this is Sam Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
It's so obvious. Like you get in the first 15, 20 minutes and the name Drag Me to Hell, you don't know what. I mean, you just expect it to be like, whatever.
That movie really delivers on its promise.
It's so good. Such a good, horror, slapsticky, hokey horror movie.
And then there was the Evil Dead reboot.
I love the reboot. I'll fight you.
Okay. I just thought it sucked all the fun out of it. It sucked all the fun out of the first two.
I liked it because I never thought I'd be see anything Evil Dead related ever again. Not even the TV show or anything.
Because that was pre Ash vs. Evil Dead still.
Yeah.
It's 2013.
And also because you could tell it was made by Evil Dead nerds that really loved the films, and they would just interject little lines or certain types of angles or something. So I appreciated that.
Yeah, and it was obvious that they had signed off on it. I mean that they had Sam and the crew.
Well, wasn't Sam Raimi one of the producers?
Yeah, he's one of the producers.
Yeah, which is the majority of what he's
Campbell,
done.
right? And Bruce Campbell.
I think Bruce Campbell was smart enough to become a producer.
Yeah. He's like, whoa! You can't do Evil Dead without me. I'm in. How much? You know, so I'm pretty sure.
I tried to watch it earlier this week and fell asleep because I was tired, but I hear he does show up at the end. Spoiler alert.
Makes a little cameo. Bruce everybody in the theaters. I think I know Bethany's a big fan, and she it was her idea. Let's go see this. And
right.
It was like one of the opening. It was opening weekend. I know that for sure. And I just remember we're all like, really, dude? No Bruce Campbell appearance at all. Couldn't even play a creepy demon. No, nothing, right? No. And then at the very end, he's like, he says something, and I forget, but it had nothing to do with
groovy.
the film. He says groovy.
Yeah,
there you go. Of course, yeah.
He knows his audience.
Yeah.
Was he even like on screen, or is just like his voice?
No, it was like a profile shot of him.
Okay, like after the credits.
Yeah. After the credits.
Was the theater just
Easter
like
egg.
full, waiting for something to happen?
Yeah.
We were all like, come on, give us.
Yeah, I saw opening
bone.
like the first showing, opening night. And then like had a conniption fit outside the theater.
That's incredible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and then we go into Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is what, like 2015? I think they started that.
Yeah.
That was a series?
It's still going. They just ended season 2.
I haven't seen any of it.
I've watched the whole thing. Heather has opinions.
I mean, I've only seen the first season, though. I don't know.
Did you finish the first season?
Yeah, I finished it because
I feel like last time we talked about it, you hadn't finished the.
No,
first
I finished the first season when it was on because I was like, I might as well just go get through this, just power through. But no.
But you actually went out to California and saw the preview.
Yeah, I got a ticket to the premiere because it pays off to be a nerd. Yeah, and. Did not get to meet Bruce Campbell, which sucks because that was kind of the whole point, which is I'd finally be able to meet Bruce Campbell, like shake his hand and be like, okay, you're on my arm forever. Don't worry about it. Don't ever let this keep you up at night or anything. I'm not weird. I'm not weird, Bruce.
Not one of those fans that
who are these people touching me, Bruce?
Different city and pays hundreds of dollars to be in the same room as you and has your likeness tattooed on my flesh.
Yeah.
No,
it's not freaky.
But
nothing weird about it. Just talk to me as you would a normal person.
Totally
How was
normal.
your day, Bruce?
Yeah.
I think he would have
liked you.
Bruce
Was
Campbell.
was it groovy? No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think he would have liked you.
Yeah, because he's a huge flirt.
Yeah, he likes the ladies, that's for sure. And that's just harkens back to what we were saying, where it's Bruce Campbell doesn't really act. He just shows up
Bruce
and says,
Campbell.
hey, okay, what are the things that I need to say as me for your show?
He doesn't really say that. I think if you compiled all the dialogue in the Evil Dead movies, first two, because he gets a lot of one-liners in Army of Darkness. But anyways, if you compile all that, it would probably be a full 5 minutes of actual speaking.
But 2.5 hours of screaming.
Yeah.
2.5 hours of screaming and just him reacting and making goofy
5
faces.
hours of facial
which is
reactions.
great because that's
you want.
And I think in the first film they couldn't afford to have a lot of they couldn't afford to have a lot of vocal takes and ADR and they didn't have the budget for it. I mean, the sound in the first film is fucking atrocious. I hate it, and I didn't like the soundtrack, but I kind of liked the way it looked.
Right.
Yeah.
It had a cool gritty look.
Yeah.
The second one, they got the budget. They were like, well, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, it was like worlds difference, like seeing the first one and then the reboot into the second one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I
don't want to start a fight right here.
Just start swinging the
It's not
microphone.
a reboot. Not a reboot.
Over my head.
Since we are talking about the budget, they spent like we were saying, about $350,000 on The Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, had a $3.6 million budget. Opening weekend, it only made back $800,000. And its box office gross was $5.9 million. So it did make back its money, but I mean, it was a very modest return. And I think with a lot of things that we see in kind of the VHS Laserdisc era, it was that cult following that really made it huge. There wasn't, at the time, there wasn't money in that for the companies really, because it was all bootlegs. It was all like secondhand. Hey, I know this guy that has these tapes, and we trade videos and talk zombies.
Yeah, the 80s were great for horror movies.
Oh, it was amazing.
Especially VHS. Oh.
Right. But it's like I'm saying, that's not something that they could market on at that point.
Yeah.
It's not until you start to get to like, the aughts when you could sell stuff and unlicensed merchandise or whatever, But yeah. So okay, well we've touched on a lot of,
what Heather, what are your thoughts about the first Evil Dead?
Yeah, okay. So you saw it, you didn't see it first. You saw it second.
Yeah, I saw it second. And so I'm
So going back and seeing that after having already seen Evil Dead 2. I mean, how was that?
I was so confused. Right. I knew it was a lower budget, and I knew it was supposed to be more of a straightforward horror film, but I watched it and I was just like, how is this possibly related to this other film that like blew my mind? I was like, oh, I didn't know that horror films could be like this. This is amazing. Right. I didn't know horror films could be that funny.
Yeah.
Is the thing about Evil Dead 2 at that time. I loved horror films. That's why George was like, here, borrow this. I think you'd like it. But I mean, I had no idea they could be that hilarious and still be really fun. Yeah. And still be a horror film.
I mean, okay, so we've got, what's his name from New Zealand doing Dead Alive.
Oh, Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Yeah, the Hobbit and
whatever,
stuff.
that guy.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Lord of the Rings too.
Would that be right around the same time? That Dead Alive?
Ooh, Dead Alive came out a little bit later. I'm thinking early mid-90s.
I'm just trying to figure out who else was really trying to infuse that much kind of like sticky humor. That's definitely. Like Dead Alive.
Yeah, I mean, what was happening then was the sequels to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
Freddy actually had more speaking roles. So the first one was straight horror, and so was the second one, and then the third one. I think it was like Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
They were campier, but the kids were never funny in those movies. You know what I mean?
But Freddy was.
Okay.
You would wait for him to show up, do a one-liner, and then just mutilate somebody.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch those movies growing up, so I haven't seen all. I don't think I've seen all of the Nightmare on Elm Street.
I watched way too many movies I shouldn't have grown up.
Yeah. My mom knew better.
And of course, there was another.
And that's why I'm so well adjusted.
The campiness factor of like,
and that's why I talk like this.
Oh yeah, but Chainsaw 2 was also kind of it had humor.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That was a beautiful moment watching the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie and being that terrified, and then the second one comes on. It's just like Dennis Hopper sawing shit for no reason. Yeah. You're like, you're like, why? It was just like it felt so good to laugh that I wanted to cry because I was just so terrified.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean that was the thing. But I swear Raimi started it. He started that particular genre of just. Evil Dead 2 is kind of like a cartoon. You literally just get to see Bruce Campbell beat the shit out of himself.
It's watching him
for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And when you're a kid and you see that, there's the difference between that and like Looney Tunes. It's not too far off.
Yeah, he's a real life Looney Tunes.
He does a Three Stooges flip.
Yeah.
Where he grabs the back of his head and does a frontward flip and lands on his back.
Because they all love the Three Stooges so much. I mean, that's why they.
That was a beautiful like hats off to Curly.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. You want to stop there, take a break, and then.
I think that's good.
Talk about.
Listeners, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like Sam Raimi was the one that really launched the concept of the comedic horror gore fest, or do you think there was somebody else that really had put that out there? Why don't you share those comments on our Facebook page, or since you're not actually listening, don't do anything. But we will be right back for discussions, a more in-depth discussion of the Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn film, where we'll have Heather take us through the plot step by step and really break it down. Yeah, I think that's the most fun. Until then, enjoy this little break beat of Evil Dead samples, and we'll be right back.
Romo's favorite part.
I can't wait to hear that goddamn song.
Sweet.
I'll swallow your soul. 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 I'll swallow your soul.
Swallow this.
Welcome back.
Am I not supposed to do that? I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm excited when guests are proactive.
Hey everyone.
Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of Electric Boogaloo Part 2, where the sequels just keep coming out the pipelines.
Groovy.
Yeah, groovy, baby, groovy.
I was hoping to sound like Diane Rehm.
How'd you feel about that? That song, that sample, that loop?
You did so good.
Thank you.
You did
It
so
was
good.
the dumbest one yet.
Yeah, Romo's not a fan. He does not want his soul swallowed.
You're completely pessimistic. Just nah.
Just about our theme song.
That's our ebb and flow. That's kind of the constant tennis match that is Stephen Romo and Taj Hodges. I think.
True.
Not everything can be the reggae from Weekend at Bernie's 2.
That's true. Very few
Nothing
things could.
can be the reggae from Weekend at Bernie's
ever.
Which for Weekend at Bernie's 2, it was composed by what's his name from The Police, correct?
That's the drummer dude.
Stuart Copeland?
Stuart Copeland? Was it really?
Paul Gutenberg.
Paul
Gutenberg.
Paul Gutenberg.
Oh, sorry. An
Bethany just told us about.
inside joke just happened there. If there is no Paul Gutenberg. Well, maybe there is.
There probably is.
He's
I'm
an
sure
insurance
there is a
salesman,
Paul
but he's
Gutenberg.
definitely
I'm
not
going
the,
on LinkedIn right now.
Yeah,
We're gonna find
he's
him.
definitely not the drummer for the
Professional
Police,
contact.
and
Yeah.
he definitely didn't do the reggae
I'm linking
Casio
in
tone
with
reggae
Paul.
score for Weekend at Bernie's 2.
The best.
Yeah. Wow. So no, we're back here and talking about Evil Dead 2. At this point in the show, we usually like to have our guests give us a bit of a plot synopsis for the sequel that we just watched, and usually it sparks some pretty interesting conversation. So, Heather, why don't you run us through the storyline of Evil Dead 2?
Totally. Okay, so it happens in Midtown Manhattan, and it's a mannequin, right, in the department store, and she's wearing a necklace. But she was turned into a mannequin because of a wizard 1,000 years ago.
Oh, damn.
And then one of the clerks is a prince. That's actually the plot to Mannequin 2.
Which is a great film.
Another great sequel.
You're actually the second person in my life that has referenced Mannequin 2.
What?
The first one was Jericho.
Oh God.
And I remember we had this conversation. He's like, I've seen every single movie that ever came out. I'm like, shut the fuck up. He's like, Mannequin 2, I have it on VHS.
I respect that. I respect that.
That's his guiding rule. Like,
exactly.
Okay, if I have Mannequin 2, then there's nothing I haven't seen.
There you go.
I believe him.
It's true. But there is a Mannequin 2 tie-in with Weekend at Bernie's, which was the, of course, premiere episode of Electric Boogaloo Part 2.
Bringing it back around.
Bringing it back around. Bringing
All
it
right,
back.
No.
Anyways,
around.
Evil Dead 2.
So thank
Dead
you
2.
for injecting Mannequin 2 into.
I could have kept
this
going too. I was like, he's a
episode.
prince.
I believe it.
They're gonna kiss. They're in love. And that's Evil Dead 2. It can be if you want to.
It's a really great movie, but you don't have to take my word for it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Steven already described the first, 15, or are we saying 15 minutes of the movie where it's...
I feel like it's 5.
Yeah, it's really quick. It's like 10 minutes at the
It
most.
gets right down to business. It's
And
awesome.
I think it's
Yeah.
fair for us to say that basically they couldn't, for some reason, secure the rights to the first movie. And so that's why they did kind of this, we have to start it over. Look, this is how Ash gets to the cabin. Oh, look, this is why he kills his girlfriend.
Yeah, they basically trimmed down the film to just the two characters,
Right.
Linda and Ash, and then just focus on what they did in the first film, and then just kind of recap it. And for some reason, Linda's a ballerina all of a sudden, and she's real like sexy now and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean that happens like later. I feel like everything is everything's pretty much the same up until the point where he lops her head off and buries her.
Yeah.
And then you get that scene from the first film, like in the woods through the house.
Yeah,
and
knocks
then
him down
to his back. Yeah, and that's
when
where
it
part
starts.
2 happens.
Exactly.
And he's possessed.
Yes, and he's possessed, and he's flying through the woods, and then he becomes evil Ash. But then by the power of sunlight and all that is good, he is no longer. Seriously, that's the reason why he becomes depossessed.
No, he was like doing some yoga and shit.
Yeah,
and
he was getting real zen in that, with those contacts in the mud.
He's the sole survival of possession in these movies, right?
Yeah, he's the only one that when he gets possessed, like he's the only one that can get out of it.
Because like we were watching the first one, and as soon as people started turning, Romo's like, cut that fool's head off. Like, why are you letting that person survive? I mean, give us your thoughts on that. Because I mean, these are your friends, and they're possessed, and you hope that they're not going to stay possessed.
Look, it wasn't like just straight off the bat, like maybe this person got a rash. I'd be like, okay, well, just go and chill out for a minute.
No,
but if said person has a rash and they're bloodthirsty and start like
and
talking
they fly
and like
through the
demonic
air,
and they start flying
and they start like stabbing people with
biting,
a pencil.
Yeah, that's like a sure sign. It's like
chop their fucking
like I'm
head
gonna go
off.
get that axe that I saw earlier. And this person's heads are gonna come off.
And that's why I dig the intro to Evil Dead 2, because no time gets wasted.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, his wife turns. He's like, nope, and
straight into it.
He lops that shit
chops
off.
her head off.
Lickety split.
Yeah. He's somehow got all of the knowledge of Evil Dead 1, but going through the motions of Evil Dead 1.
Exactly.
At the beginning. That might be why it's kind of a little weird. But I don't know. I think it's just fine. So anyways, he puts her head in the vice, and she's like, Nash, I'm really Linda. And he's like, I don't believe you. And then
You're just a head.
and then she like comes barreling in with the chainsaw, and then he attacks her. Well, actually, he pushes the chainsaw, and it just goes through her for some reason. Anyways, I'm just going to speed up. There's Annie Noby.
Annie Noby.
Played by Sarah Berry.
Sarah Berry, who you say has the best name.
I love her name
Sarah
in the
Berry.
film, and I love her actual name. Just for some reason makes me laugh.
If you want to see more of her work, she did appear in Chud 2, Bud the Chud. She was listed as the onlooker.
If you're passionate about Chud 2.
another classic.
Another classic sequel, if you're into that one. Call in.
So anyways, Annie Noby, she's the daughter of this anthropologist, not from the first film, but insinuated to be the same one from the first film that's on the recorder. Yeah. Right. Dr. Noby. She's going to go visit the cabin because her parents are there. That's the doctor and Henrietta, his wife. She gets to the cabin with the help of Jake and Bobby Joe. And she's with Ed, who's like her assistant, or I think boyfriend. I'm not really sure.
I feel like they were boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah,
I just because he's not as attractive as her, I don't think that's a fair basis to judge that they're not an item. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not that many people in that area.
That's right.
And so like the dating pool was really reduced, and so that's what happens when just a hillbilly can end up with like the local hot girl.
Right.
Yeah.
He owns the tow truck, so obviously
he's obviously doing good for himself. Yeah.
Yeah, but they get there. They think Ash killed her parents.
Well, also, understandably, Ash is. That's the trip out scene where everything in the room starts laughing. It's like the inspiration for the George Harrison "Come on, Ma, Sit on You" video. And
did you say "Come on, Ma, Sit on You"?
Yeah, "Come on, Ma, Sit on You." That was how that song went, right?
What
Come
the
on, Ma, Sit
I've never heard that song before, but I gotta get that shit.
No, but he's freaking out and he hears something at the door and he turns around and he shoots.
That's one of my favorite scenes because of that cut. Like that's just like they're all laughing. He's losing his mind. The lamp is going up and down. Somebody at the Ash versus Evil Dead premiere was dressed up as the deer.
That's fucking rad.
The deer's head on the wall.
That's amazing.
Yeah. You'd think it would be really nerdy, and it was, but it was also really amazing.
But they're coming to this cabin expecting that her parents are just going to be there.
Yeah.
And instead, somebody shoots through the door, and they open the door, and his hand is missing. And there's a bloody chainsaw on the ground. It's understandable they think that Ash is not a good dude.
Yeah. So they shove him into the cellar, and then they play a record. Because if there's a tape recorder around, you just play it.
Yeah.
You just play it.
Yeah.
You just press play and hope it's Ariana Grande.
Yeah, you see, and so I want to. I don't mean to interrupt your synapses.
Rick Jepsen's second album, Emotion.
Yeah, God, you can only hope. But I don't mean to interrupt your synapses, but you missed one of the best parts there. And so it basically in the recap. Where he plays a tape, that's you get the first part of the tape where the demon incarnation happens. Incantation, there you go. Where that happens and the demon comes out, and then that's for some reason that's when the tape just stops playing. It's like now we're done, demons are out, and it's like an auto shut off. But so after that part, he's just alone with evil around him, and his hand gets possessed. And he has to cut off his hand.
How did we jump over that?
And
I just wanted to skip over. I was like, let's just go.
She's getting to the meat of the story.
Yeah, I thought we had to speed this up. I was
but when you get one of the most awesome scenes where he's smashing his own head with plates, and flipping himself over and smacking him, and he knocks himself out, and then of course the hand tries to go to the cleaver to finish the job.
The room.
Yeah, and then he chops his own hand off with a chainsaw. You can't really just skip over that. You can't. That is like, I mean, when I was a kid and I saw that, that was everything. That was amazing.
that scene where he's chainsawing off the hand and he's saying, "Who's laughing now?" As the blood just starts hitting his face. I mean, I will admit that's got to be one of the like most iconic horror gore blood
besides the laughing living room.
Face while I describe
the laughing living room is another major scene where I remember seeing that as a kid, and I think I kind of lost my mind. I think that was the first time that I had like an episode where I'm like, am I laughing because they're laughing, or am I laughing because I genuinely think this is a ridiculous scene? Like, I don't know, but it's laughter. So, and it goes on for quite a long time, and then that's where you were. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
so there you go.
That's fair. Whoa.
The cat is climbing on things. That's what he does.
Is that what's happening right now?
he's a cat. Yeah. That's what he does.
So then the rest of the party arrives.
Yeah, the rest of the party arrives. No, I love that scene with the laughter because it just continues on and drags, and you're not really sure when it ends, and when it does, it's really abrupt because he's picking up the shotgun to shoot through the door. No, it's really a fantastic scene. But yeah, they shove him to. I think it's because I just want to talk about Henrietta. I love like Dreamweaver like plays through my head whenever I see Henrietta. I just get really excited. We're running on the beach like into each other's arms, but I'm trying not to get bit. Yeah, they shove Ash into the cellar. They start playing the recording, and it's Dr. Nobi talking about how Henrietta gets possessed, and he loves her, so he couldn't dismember her. So what he just did was he buried her in the cellar, which is where Ash is, and then he starts freaking out because Henrietta just gets up, and it's so great because it's an old woman, but she's really, really haggard looking. Like they really try to get that in there, that she's really decomposed and real nasty.
She is not doing well.
No. And the best part is it's played by Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi's brother. Yeah. In a giant latex suit that he was pouring sweat out of. You can see it in the film. It's really gross.
There's writing everywhere about how Ted suffered for this movie. I mean, everybody suffered for these movies, but
Ted Raimi
suffered a lot for these movies. Ted Raimi, who, by the way, you can also find him in Twin Peaks as the rocker dude, the roadie who is captured by by Coop's old partner, whose name I'm going to blank on right now.
It starts with a W. I'm so bad. Why am I being bad right now?
Man, call in if you know that name. He also shows up in the Spider-Man trilogy, of course.
Don't call in. We don't actually take calls here.
Sam Raimi directed those, and he put his brother in those as the assistant of J. Jonah Jameson. But yeah, man. Ted Raimi shows up in a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Raimi-verse mixing with the
Xenoverse.
The Xenoverse, definitely. There's a lot of Xena going on in both camps. But Sam actually wrote a lot of Xena episodes, didn't he?
I don't know if he wrote any. I don't think he did.
Maybe I'm.
I don't think he had.
That.
It's just that Ted was a regular minor character, I guess.
Yeah,
you'd say on Xena, and so was Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
And then now they're working together again on Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Versus Evil Dead. Well, she actually did a great job. She really was good, even though the show was not great.
What are you talking about?
Ash versus Evil Dead. Have you watched it?
Okay.
No, he said he hasn't yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
For a moment, I thought you were talking about Xena.
Oh, no.
And I was gonna fucking fight.
No.
Okay, good.
Who would
Anyways, sorry. That's what happens when I just drift off to thought, thinking about a tie between the Raimi verse and the Lynch verse with the Twin Peaks thing, and I'm just like, there is a tie, and I'm sorry.
There's always a tie-in. Always a tie-in.
I just want to see
Getting
Ash
past
just
that.
like go through, I don't know, a part of the Twin Peaks Sheriff's Department with the chainsaw just accidentally in a new episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We're on
Yeah.
set.
That would
Just
be incredible.
walk off.
Anyways,
that would
where
be
do
my
we-
favorite thing in the world.
Where
We
did
left
we leave
off
off?
with-
Oh, Henrietta.
So Henrietta's
basement.
coming out, and she morphs into this very weird, demonic, like distorted face. It looks like a big, weird worm baby.
Yes. Worm baby.
It looks like a big, weird worm baby. But they pull Ash out in time. And then he tries to just basically explain what's going on. That's when Ed gets possessed. Although I'm not really sure how Ed gets possessed still.
Yeah.
No,
'Cause
the
that-
rules of possession are very loose in this
Yeah,
He's
universe.
the one that's like very ambiguous.
Well, I think Henrietta pushes him, and then he flies into the wall.
Okay, all right.
So I think maybe she possessed him then.
By just
Well,
like
no,
just by
there was actually a
pushing
moment when Ash's character was trying to get out because Henrietta's like attacking him.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a really quick cut of like the demonic force going through the forest, and it goes into a window, but it doesn't show who it hits. It just cuts back to like them trying to pull
but
him
the
out.
rules are like that. You don't get possessed unless someone that is already possessed like injures you or touches you in some sort of like negative, I guess you'd say, like physically violent way.
Yeah, so Henrietta does push him, and
Okay, so that
remember
probably is
the picture
how it
frame
is.
is around his neck.
Usually it's really like bloody though. It's like Linda in the first film with
Yeah.
the pencil and stuff. Like it's real bad.
It gets really loose, it seems like at times, but I guess that is one way to explain it.
Yeah. I mean, that's me just trying to explain it, but
Yeah.
But here's the thing about Evil Dead 2 is like I never had to rationalize it really in my head. And that's why I love this film so much. I don't have to rationalize it in any way. It gives me just enough to keep the story going, but I don't have to really.
It's a roller coaster. You enjoy
really
it while
is.
you're on it, and when you're off it, you're like, yeah, that was good. I don't need to worry about that again.
Anyways,
So we're still in like the first half hour of the
Still in
movie.
the first half hour of the movie.
not really. We can speed it up again. Because everything then just becomes like, more possession. So Ash kills Ed as a lesson to them to show them that like he's possessed and he's bad and he's gonna.
I can do this. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys need to not get possessed, or I'm gonna chop you up too. Yeah.
As a general rule, try not to get possessed tonight, guys.
Yeah. So there's this really great scene. It's shot really oddly where it's Dr. Nobi coming through from the other side.
Oh yeah, the projection on the wall. Yeah.
But the way that they shoot it is completely distorted and
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really, really odd, and you have no idea what's going on. You just assume it's something really bad, and it just happens to be Dr. Nobi, which is also another thing I can't. How did she?
Wait, that was Dr. Nobi. That was like, don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was talking to Annie, his daughter, and she was like, "Dad."
Yeah.
Which, how did she recognize him when he looks like Death from the Seventh Seal? Like, he had all that makeup on. I was like, I would never.
He did not look like any.
Well, it
I don't know
was
your
it
dad.
was his voice. It was his voice.
No,
It was his voice.
it's me, Annie.
By the way, here's
Dr.
how
Dad.
you can kill me.
Yeah.
And then,
Remember when I used to sing to you in this voice? That's getting a little jelly off. I should get off that. Yeah, he's the one who tells them that the way to get rid of all of this evil that they happen to unleash in the world is the pages of the Necronomicon that she happens to bring in a glass case with hinges.
with hinges on it that you can easily open up. But it's immediately following that scene. What's the first smashing? Because
Because Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, because Bruce Campbell. Yeah.
Because when in an emergency, break glass.
Yeah. Ash is just not playing around in this movie. Even when he could just politely open up a thing, no, I'm gonna break it. I'll show you.
Yeah.
And then, that's the scene where the hillbilly.
We have a moment where everything gets kind of mixed up and Bobby Joe splits.
So Bobby Joe is like, This is after Dr. Nobi and everything. They're freaked out because they just see,
because of the
face.
hand.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Ash's
So
hand.
Ash's hand, which has not been seen since Justin
Act 1, yeah.
referenced it. But it did. It just disappeared.
Yeah.
You never know what happens to the hand afterwards. Is actually holding on to Bobby Joe, and she freaks out. She knocks into the lantern that Annie is holding, and then it goes dark. When they get into the lantern going again, Jake is like, I don't know where Bobby Joe is. Bobby Joe.
For some reason, she just bolts out into
in
the
like
woods.
lickety split, like 0.5 seconds. She's out there.
You know what happens in these movies when a woman goes running in the forest?
Yeah.
Them trees be raping.
They're rapey.
How dare you
trees.
blame this on the woman and not the trees and not
She
the
should have known
trees.
better.
Oh, no.
Than to run out of those woods. No, that's not it at all.
We know
But
that.
These woods.
It isn't her fault. Those trees are fucking rapey
trees are-
assholes.
those
But at
trees
that
are
point,
very-
those trees.
At that point, they don't know that, though, right? That
No,
point,
'cause
no one's
no-
really
Yeah.
No
exposed
one's
to the
been
fact.
out.
Tree rape
outside.
has yet to be established in
was established in
that
the first
particular
one.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much
But
insinuated.
we know.
Right.
Yeah.
We know. We'll never forget the trees be raping.
Never forget.
Yeah.
Cheryl.
Which, by the way, Sam Raimi regrets it, but that doesn't change the fact that he put tree rape in his movie.
All of them.
Shame on you, Sam. Shame on you. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, I'm just kidding. Whatever. I don't care. So then, yeah, Bob Joe's running out into the world.
Into the world, yes.
And these
Bob
trees
Joe into the
are
world.
less. These trees are less rapey and more just like we're gonna kill you.
Yeah, they just basically tie her down and just
They drag her through explosive mud.
explosive mud, and they just all the way into a tree's mouth.
Yeah, the tree eats her.
Yeah, the tree eats.
Eats her, which is kind of the first showing of the main villain at the end of the movie who shows up, kind of the what they call him, like rotten apple head or something. I think it's what they refer to that guy as.
Oh yeah, the big head at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Bobby Joe is dead, and at this point,
but
Jake is freaking out.
Yeah, Jake doesn't know that. He just knows that she's out there, and Ash is like, "No, if you go out there, you'll die." And he's like, "I don't care because I have the shotgun right now." And he gets the pages of the Necronomicon, which again have just been smashed. The glass case has just been smashed open for some reason. He gets the pages and he just throws them into the cellar.
Yeah, instead of the fire
With Henrietta. Yeah.
With Henrietta, yep.
Right.
To force them being Annie and Ash, they're the only ones left, into the woods to go look for Bobby Joe. And what happens? I'm trying to think about it. Oh, so they go out into the woods. Ash gets possessed again.
Yeah.
Yeah, here comes evil Ash again.
Because Jake keeps calling out, Bobby Joe!
Yep.
Bobby Joe!
Which-
for like an uncomfortable
It's a
long
really-
time. And you know some bad shit's going to happen when they prolong something stupid like that. And then sure shit,
That's
evil going through the woods.
That's a great shot too, where he's just screaming and you see the telltale Raimi just going through the forest, demonic force, and you think it's gonna be Jake, but he's totally fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Ash pops up behind him and he's possessed. And so I'll speed up again a little bit. Annie goes inside to the cabin. She gets this. We didn't talk about the daggers of Evil Dead.
Yeah,
but
apparently there's multiple.
There's multiple
daggers.
Yeah.
But there aren't multiple in Evil Dead 2, right? It's just the one that's kind of like red bone.
It's the one, but there's also the one in the first film.
Yes, and then there's one in the TV show that looks different too.
Yeah, that's about.
Anyhow,
I don't need that. It's just like it looks like a piece of a spine.
Yeah, it looks like a whole bunch of spine segments joined together.
And sharpened into a fine point. Annie gets that. And because she knows that evil Ash is like afoot and loose and is popping up in windows, so she gets near a door. She expects him to be to go through the door, and it happens to be Jake. She stabs him
Right in the chest.
Right in the chest.
Right in the chest. And his arms are outstretched too, which was really convenient.
And then she slams the door on him about 150
repeatedly.
times.
And she tells him to shut up when he's moaning and nearly dead.
Won't you you please shut up? I'm sorry I stabbed you in the chest and then slammed your head in the door about 100 times.
But that was 30 seconds ago, and now I need you to get
move
out
on.
Of the
It's
damn
survival
doorway.
time, Jake.
Yeah, when she pulls it out, because he begs her to pull it out, even though you're like, don't do it, because it looks like it's going to be really painful going out. She pulls it out, and then she drags him to another room, just like literally drags him. And he's complaining.
Yeah.
I mean,
God damn it,
with good
Jake.
reason.
No, you know what? Just brush it off, dude.
Yeah,
it's evil time.
Evil time,
You're fighting evil here.
It's evil time.
You know.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Yeah, exactly. Ash is flipping out. He's a demon. But he ends up breaking in, though, right? That's what happens?
Yeah. Evil Ash. Yeah, he breaks in. But she's dragging him, and she's getting tired, so she just sort of lays him on a part of the floor. She's not paying attention. It happens to be the hatch to the cellar. So Henrietta grabs Jake and pulls him down. They try to play tug of war with his body.
Right.
Before,
and then gushing blood, gushing blood everywhere for another uncomfortable long period of time.
I loved it.
It's awesome.
I still love it.
What'd you call it? Fire Cheeto juice?
Yeah.
Flaming hot Cheeto
Flaming
juice.
hot Cheeto
She
juice.
just comes pouring out of
I just
Henrietta.
really wish again that during that tug of war scene that she would have like pulled his pants off.
That would have been
and
hilarious.
Like, oh no, I lost him.
I wish. Yeah, and that noise is played. Would it really have been out of place in the film?
No,
I mean,
not
come
really.
on.
That's hilarious.
It would have been
amazing.
right in keeping with Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Oh man, if
Which
only.
basically purchased the Looney Tunes sound bank for that movie.
What a great film.
Waka 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 waka.
So that's what ends up happening to Jake. He just gets like meat grinded by Henrietta, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So wait, does Ash get into the room before he changes back?
He gets into the room.
Yeah.
He picks up Linda's necklace from the beginning of the film. Sorry, I should have mentioned that too.
Yeah.
That dorky necklace from the first film is in the
it's a
second
little-
film.
It's a little looking glass.
Yeah,
with
looks
a
like
monocle.
a monocle.
It does look like except monocles don't usually have handles, right? Like a little.
That's
Yeah, but this one does. It's the thing that basically makes him human again.
yeah. It's like he remembers love.
He sheds demon tears and then turns into a real boy again.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
it's the story of Pinocchio. It's the story of Mannequin 2. It's the story of Mannequin 2.
It's a story of Mannequin 2.
It all comes back. Yeah, and then he has to convince Annie from stabbing him again because she's just like stabbed.
She's swinging the axe at him.
wouldn't
Oh, she does.
the
She has the
axe,
axe.
yeah.
Yeah, she's going.
Everyone else
she's,
that has turned back into a normal human has just been pulling a fake out move. So why should she believe?
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
gone full Romo. Like she's just swinging.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's just down to kill. She's just
Well, she had already seen
indiscriminate.
it.
IDGAF.
But the one difference between the fake out I'm human, just kidding, I'm gonna eat you, versus Ash being like, no, like it's legit. 'Cause
Yeah,
he was like, look, I'm
real.
I'm not fucking around. Like,
Yeah.
like I could have just turned right now and it would have been done.
Yeah.
But like I'm still here. Like let's fucking get the fuck out. Let's take care of this shit. So I think I would have been like, all right, like I believe you, but I'm not letting you go with this fucking dagger, and you're staying a couple of feet away from me, and I'm just gonna keep looking at you. And the first fucking moment of you turning, your head's coming off. I'm sorry. And then I'll figure this shit out myself.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll take care of Henrietta.
But I mean,
read out that shit and then call it a day.
She finally gets it, and then you get that awesome. It's like, well, let's go. What does he say? And
Woodshed.
No,
No, he just says woodshed, and it's like a bad it sounds like a
Woodshed?
bad. Yeah, it sounds like a
Okay.
bad dub over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woodshed.
Again, it's a disembodied voice.
And so you get in like every like action movie has this like Rambo and Commando and all these like, gear up. Yeah, it's a gear up. It's a gear up montage. They actually
Where's
that's what
Ash
it's
in
called.
the Expendables movie?
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's like there's an awesome gear up montage, and man, it's just one of the best because it's like you know that chainsaw is going to come into play,
Right.
and boy, does it ever come into play.
They do the modifications.
Yeah,
set
they're
up.
very quick about it too.
So it's a stump mounting chainsaw, which I guess that we're led to believe is revved via muscle contractions.
Yeah,
No,
he has
he has like a little.
Well, no, that's how he Okay, but that's how he starts it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then,
yeah.
How do you pull the trigger? Like, I guess, like he sometimes one hands it.
Oh,
and
that's
how
fair.
is he activating the chain? So I'm assuming that has to be some kind of muscle.
It's
got them
the power of awesomeness.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or maybe
Or the
just
power
don't
of-
rationalize it at all.
It's the Raimi verse,
Yeah.
and I should just shut
It's
my
just
damn full mouth. That I will admit that while we were watching both movies today, there were several times where I would turn to Heather and be like, "Wait, how do you explain this?" And she's like, "You're really asking the serious questions today. You gotta let that go. Gotta let it go." And it's true. I do have to let it go. But yeah. So at that point, they are geared up.
Yeah, he says groovy.
He says groovy.
Another important point
My
there.
favorite moment, besides, and I'll get to my absolute favorite moment towards the end of this, just to keep this shit going. But one of my favorite moments in this movie was when he's standing there, fucking buff as fuck, like just badass, ready to go.
Yeah.
Shotgun in one hand, fucking chainsaw in the other.
on the
Literally
other
has
stump.
part of his
Literally.
arm, and he gets a chainsaw and looks at it and saws it off. And when he goes through it, it doesn't all the way break.
Oh,
He
yeah.
fucking judo chops the barrel off of it, and I was like, dude, and he just puts it in his back, like Robin
Yeah.
He
Hood.
spins it and then puts it on his
Like-
back. Yep.
And so you know that some demon asses are going to get kicked from that moment on. That's like the turning point where it's like Ash is no longer defending himself. He is on the offensive now. He's going to kick some demon ass. And it's time to visit Henrietta.
Yep.
Yeah.
They go back to the cellar. I love Henrietta. I don't know. I can't really explain why though. Maybe it's because again I watched this film like first.
There's that one line where like she first makes her appearance, right? And they're down in the basement, and he's like, "Guys, let me out of here. There's a fucking demon." And she's like, "Come to Henrietta."
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
I mean, the shit talking demons are great in all Sam Raimi movies, but yeah, just come to Henrietta.
That's another
It's
thing
so
though about
good.
the Evil Dead. The Deadites, the villains, like that's what they're called. That's the thing about them though, is like they're like little tricksters.
Yeah.
That's like what makes them definitively them though. That's how you know you're watching like an Evil Dead film.
They
Like
have
that's
a certain level of wit that you wouldn't necessarily expect from a possessed creature. You would think that it would just be some kind of old world.
They do want to swallow our souls, but they also want to be little shits.
Yeah. They're poking fun while taking souls.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
The reboot,
shit talking demons. I mean, I think that's the best
Shit
way
talking demons.
that's
man.
a very
Describe it.
that's one of the signatures I would say of an Evil Dead film is that.
So then we're fighting Henrietta.
Yeah, so Henrietta, he goes down, Ash goes down into the cellar now that he's got his iconic chainsaw arm. He goes down to the cellar. Henrietta becomes, again, that weird, like, worm baby head, but it's like, it's pretty much out of control. She just becomes full-on demon, and it's very long and snake-like, and he gets to use the chainsaw by chopping her pretty much.
Yeah, he basically dismembers her.
Yeah, he just
Gets
limbs
arms
flying
flying,
everywhere. Yeah. And then the head, which is.
He pretty much gave Henrietta what she deserves.
Yes.
I love her. She's so great. But yeah, and the I'll swallow your soul, I'll swallow your soul. That's one of my. That's like probably my favorite part of the film is that part.
Oh my gosh.
And then he says, "Swallow this," and blows her head. She goes, "Ah!" She makes that noise, and then it blows up. Her head blows up when he shoots
Literally
the shotgun.
explodes.
Yeah.
And so the real bad demon comes out, right? The mythical in the book.
Well, the whole deal with
comes
the
out.
final pages and what or Professor Nobley is telling them to do is that they have to embody the evil. So by reading these passages,
they have to make the evil physical,
so that they can toss it back.
Yeah,
into
it's like a wormhole that she opens.
Exactly.
That's what the pages say. That's why they needed them. So
And in those pages we see a chainsaw-armed figure in the desert.
wearing a denim shirt
Shirt,
And a shotgun.
carrying a boomstick.
Yeah.
Fire coming out of the end.
and looking very Midwestern.
And it's just a great poking fun at himself for something that he hadn't even done yet, or that they weren't even sure they were going to get.
They
to
really
do.
wanted to
They
do
really
the
wanted to.
medieval aspect of Army of Darkness in Evil Dead 2. They tried so hard, but they They couldn't
That was
stretch
the
it.
original plan, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, they went there. They finally get there at the end, you know?
Well, yeah, but they wanted like a full-fledged like thing. I think they wanted Army of Darkness pretty much in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with Army of Darkness as it is.
Yeah, and like the final scene in Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 is, I mean, they really went big budget for that. They're like, okay, it's a different location altogether. We have suits of armor, and we're gonna drop a fucking car, which is pretty awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's forward though for a second. So, anyways, they manifest the evil, or Annie does, because she can read like ancient Sumerian, I guess, or whatever.
Sumerian.
It's usually it's always ancient Sumerian. I've watched enough horror films to know that.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Joss Whedon didn't have to tell me that. I knew that. Yeah, but she can just read it nonchalant. So she does. She manifests the evil, and it's basically the entire forest. It becomes this giant tree with the apple head.
Right. And all the trees surrounding the house just started beating the hell out of the house.
Yeah.
Rattling around
It's
inside.
giant tree arms and giant tree face coming through the door, and that's when Ash gets the white streak in his hair, because he sees the physical manifestation of evil itself. It's just, and he gets the white. I love that part. I also love that part so much too. But then Annie, throughout all this chaos, isn't paying attention. Ash's hand comes back, stabs her with that gnarly spine dagger in the back. And she's not finished reading the second passage, which is the one to open up the wormhole to suck the evil back out. And it's like Ash is getting his ass beat. And then... Of course, like her dying breath is the last word, and then it opens up the wormhole, and so it sucks the evil out and the big tree, but it's not closed. It ends up sucking up pretty much everything in the cabin, including Ash and the Delta.
And the Delta,
and the Delta. And he gets transferred back in time to the medieval ages.
And they drop a car.
And they drop the Delta.
I was like, damn, they really got ambitious for this. Like, we get to see a completely different thing. So we're like, for 2 movies today, we're stuck in this cabin in the woods, and all of a sudden we're in a desert, and they drop a fucking car, and then there's guys in armor, and I was like, fuck yeah. This is so awesome.
So bonkers. And they're totally afraid of him until this pterodactyl
That's
deadite
the demon.
thing.
One of the deadites.
Yeah, they get like pterodactyl demons back then, I guess. He just shoots it out of the air with his boomstick. You don't know it's the boomstick yet.
With his perfect aim.
With his perfect aim, with his one arm and his perfect aim.
That head exploded.
That's one hand.
Best accuracy with a shot off.
Oh, yeah.
And then they start worshiping him, and then he starts screaming, no! He has like some sort of Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes moment.
Which, if you've seen Army of Darkness, is not necessarily in keeping with exactly how that movie plays.
But it is keeping with how sequels begin.
Yes, with how the sequels of the Evil Dead trilogy
They don't pick up
start.
quite right.
They don't remember exactly how it's like your 60-year-old
You're
uncle
in the
trying to
Raimi
describe.
verse,
I think there was some kind of the girlfriend's head got cut off, and then they were in medieval times. I don't know. But that's basically how it plays out. And I had Army of Darkness. I honestly was hoping that everyone would be so excited that we would just watch it. But
I think we were down, but
it's a lot of movie to watch. And I mean, we were already 3+ hours deep in movies. So okay, we've gone through the whole movie. Thank you. That was fun. It's always fun to talk about the movie because it spawns that kind of conversation. But bottom line with this show is that we always compare them. So I don't think there's much of a contest here.
No.
But Heather,
really.
in your opinion, which is the better film, Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn?
It's definitely Evil Dead 2, and if you say it's not, I'm going to find you. It's not going to be nice.
I think all of us can safely agree that Evil Dead 2 was the
Evil
by
Dead,
far
I mean, is
the
not
best.
without its charms.
No, it's not. I mean, it's definitely more in that vein of
Some people
classic
like
horror.
it more. I've met these people.
It's
Yeah.
not nearly as...
They're all right. They
I don't
just
trust them. They're misguided.
they have their own issues that they've got to deal with. But for folks who don't want something quite as campy as Evil Dead 2, for people that like those old horror films that want something that's kind of hokey with that 85 millimeter kind of appeal to it. It's definitely a great movie for that. But yes, hands down, I mean, obviously bigger budget, but with that, some of the constraints that come with having a big budget and having people that you have to answer to, which is why I think, you keep talking about Linda and all of a sudden she's sexier and she's ballet. I mean, I think that's obviously like producer influence. That's not something that Sam...
or maybe they just wanted to have a sexy dance and half skeleton.
Maybe.
It was pretty hot when she just goes, bye.
Right. Just jumps through the woods.
Yeah.
Her head reattaches and it keeps like going down her arm like she's like a Harlem Globetrotter and like her head's
with
a
her head,
basketball.
See, that's that trickster element thing about Deadites. They just
Deadites love to have fun. They're like the Cyndi Lauper of the
Evil Dead 2 definitely. It's too iconic. There's nothing truly. There's a lot of memorable stuff about the first one, but I mean, up against the slapsticky scenes. I don't know. I think the one scene that just goes beyond probably both of the films is the end of Evil Dead 1, where it goes into weird acid claymation land.
Oh yeah,
where the demons die at the end.
Everyone's decomposing.
Yeah.
Into cream corn.
And everybody turns into cream corn and roaches. Yeah. That
and milk.
Yeah, that is a freaky scene. Yeah. But other than that, the first movie.
The one thing that Evil Dead has way, way, way more on top of Evil Dead 2 is the credit song.
Oh yeah.
The credit song.
Like Evil Dead's credit music is the best.
Yeah.
Like, it's so unexpected what they play after at the end of that movie.
It's like,
and here comes the clowns.
It's like a level out of like Luigi's Haunted Mansion or something. Anyhow,
so the one thing that I do want to mention before we close out,
of course,
my absolute favorite scene out of both those movies was the beginning of, well, I guess 7 minutes into the beginning of Evil Dead 2. When the evil force goes through everything and it hits Ash.
It drives him through the woods.
And he goes flying through.
And he goes flying. I want to believe that scene inspired the music video for Ray of Light from Madonna.
You're so right.
That was my all-time favorite scene.
The Raimi verse mixing with the Madonna verse.
There's so many inspirations here. The backwards smoke is totally stolen by David Lynch.
We've opened up some sort of can of worms
That's
here.
True.
No.
George Harrison stole The Laughing Room for I Got My Mind Set on You.
Yeah, the Evil Dead 2 is just too iconic, man. There's so much good stuff.
It's the prototype for like a cult film.
Yeah.
You want to make a cult film, watch Evil Dead 2. Like that is.
I remember watching that when I was 9. And it's still as awesome then. There's still my inner 9-year-old is like, I just want to see his hand attack his face again.
So good.
It's so good.
It's a great physical comedian. Even if Bruce Campbell didn't make huge waves in any other groups, he has definitely held his own.
Bubba Hotep is a really good movie.
Bubba Hotep's a great movie. I'm just saying, like, it's definitely, he's got a posse. And it's a lot like a lot of directors. Kevin Smith has a posse. Fucking Quentin Tarantino has a posse. Granted, they're more famous people, but still, it's a posse. And most of them end up being in all of his films. So Bruce stuck with his posse, and he made some really good films. And actually, I think that Ash vs. Evil Dead's worth a pass. It's not great, but if you just want to keep enjoying this awesome franchise, then it's a cool way to keep doing it. I just got stars
so I can watch American Gods, but so I can watch Ash vs. Evil Dead 2 second season.
Give it a pass. Don't take it too seriously. They're half-hour episodes too, so it's not even that much of an investment. Anyhow,
except for my soul.
They will swallow your soul eventually if you allow them to. Well, Heather, thank you so much for coming down today. It was a true pleasure to have you here to enjoy these movies. Romo, you hadn't really, I mean, you'd kind of seen them before, but this was really first.
But like
exposure.
thoroughly, yeah. This is my first run through.
So, would you say now, in your adulthood, having seen them, you would recommend either of these films?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
Most definitely.
Well, that's what we're all about here. This is all really about making sure that the information is out there.
Are you going to watch Army of Darkness?
Yeah, I have to.
I think you
I
guys
need
should
to
go
watch it.
Tonight.
Everybody, just go watch it right now.
Right now.
Just watch Army of Darkness.
And Sally Forth. Sally Forth. All right. Well, until next time, Boogalooers, thank you for joining us. Next time, I think we got on the docket our good friend Candace Feldman. She's going to come down and talk Ninja Turtles.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah, so I hope you're all looking forward to that one. If you have some thoughts or comments, go ahead and paste them in the comments below.
I'm also going to do a guest request. Sister Act 1 and 2. I want to be a part of that, and I want someone to be on the show.
Somebody needs to send us their info,
because if not, I know everything about Sister Act 2.
Seriously.
I mean, we can each be selfish and get our own. I still want to do Batman and Batman Returns.
Batman Returns would be a good one as well. What are your ideas, listeners? Send us those suggestions, and we'll be sure to add them to the docket. But until next time, guys,
Sorry.
this has been Justin Miller.
Hi.
Heather Moreno.
Hello.
Stephen Romo.
Hello.
And me, your host, Taj Hodges.
Hello.
Signing off.
Bye.
Bye.